Do you have a gap between who you are today and who you want to become in the future? Well, good. You should. We all should. Because that gap is what can drive you, inspire you, motivate you, not discourage you and make you feel bad about who you are today. In fact, it all starts with self-acceptance. If you want to close the gap, if you have a dream about being in a certain shape physically, if you have a dream about having certain relationships, or you want to progress in your career, you want to be more charismatic, then self-acceptance with who you are today is crucial. See, most people go into self-improvement with the mindset that they're not good, and now they're going to read a bunch of books, watch a bunch of videos, and then they'll be a good person. Finally, everybody will love them and accept them. Because, of course, they're better now. But in reality, that's never going to actually happen because you need to fully accept yourself first. If you try to improve on top of non-acceptance, you're not really improving. And that's where a lot of people run into issues in self-development. And they feel like they're hitting a plateau or a glass ceiling. And it's because you're trying to force an evolution. You're trying to force progress, force growth, instead of naturally awakening it within you. And you naturally awaken it within you by saying, hey, it's okay that I am who I am today. It's all right that maybe I smoke, or I'm overweight, or maybe my relationships aren't the greatest, or I don't really have that much character. Because in the long run, I can improve those qualities. And even if I don't, I still know that I'm a good person because I have the good intention of wanting to improve. Now as you move forward, the weight is off your shoulders.
So it got a little too cold out there on the mountain, but to follow up, the second part to actually closing that gap between who you are today and who you want to become in the future is to finally start to insert the habits of who you actually want to be. You see, the way you should work at this is reverse engineering. Don't think about it like some distant goal, some weird thing in the future that you cannot achieve, something that you're not capable of for any reason. Instead, look at it like a process and a system. Look at that person that you ultimately want to be as almost a blueprint to what you should be doing today. What would that person be doing every day? What are his or her habits? What do they do on a regular basis? What kind of food do they eat? Who do they actually spend time with? What activities do they put most of their time into? What do they invest themselves into wholeheartedly? Because if you know this, then it's very easy. What you're doing today should match what you'll be doing as the ideal you. Because if you start acting like the ideal you today, you will become the ideal you tomorrow. As you continue to do these habits day in and day out, what starts to happen is you naturally transform. It's no longer this weird strained effort because you're already that guy or girl. You're already that ideal person. You're already acting like it instead of trying to reach, trying to grasp at it, trying to become it. You are it by virtue of doing the same things as that person would do. So ask yourself, the ideal you, the person that you want to be, what do they do every day? Who do they spend time with? Why do they do it? Why is it important to them? And how frequently, right? So if they're in great shape, what kind of workout? What kind of diet? And consistently, every single day, you start taking that on. And then what happens is the gap gets closed very fast. Because how do you close the gap between where you are today and where you want to be in the future? It's really simple. You just start doing the things you'd be doing at the end, right now. See, that's what I did. That gap inspired me to start making videos every day because I knew that the ultimate version of me would be making videos every week. So I just started doing it straight away because I knew that's what I'd be doing down the line. I knew I'd be speaking, so I started speaking. I knew I'd be coaching, so I started coaching. And all the clients that I've served and continue to serve, I'm grateful to. All of the videos that I've made, that I've been so grateful to make and continue to make, it all happened because I knew that down the line, the person that I wanted to be would be doing these things. So why not just start doing them now? Instead of trying to wait or think that you're somehow not good enough, once you get that first part that I was talking about outside, the self-acceptance in there, you know it's okay that you are where you are, then it's all of a sudden okay to become who you want to become. Because you're not trying to pretend as if. There's no faking. This is what's so important, and most people miss this, and so they're always straining. They're always in this weird tension to try to become who they want to be, instead of a flow. Instead of enjoying themselves, instead of really taking in the journey, they get caught up on the result. But the journey is the result. Because again, if you do what you'd be doing, and you might say, well, I don't have the resources for that. I'd be traveling the world. I don't have enough money. That's fine. What would give you the money to travel the world? Somehow you made that happen if that's what you're doing. If that's what the ideal version of you is doing, somehow you made that happen. So what would you have done? What would that future you have done to generate that kind of cash flow so that it was easy for you to go travel? So that you could live that life consistently? Well, maybe it was, digital marketing, something online so that I don't have to be tied to a certain location. Okay, great. Now we have a start. Then what are you passionate about? What do you care about? What would you like to do that marketing on? What would that person be doing? Well, this is the industry. And now you start figuring it out. This is called reverse engineering. Once you have a clear picture of where you want to be, you can take that and bring it into the now. That's why they say all things are created twice. First in the mind, then out there in the real world. So create it in your mind first, see who you want to be, see that ideal future version of yourself, and then close the gap by taking the habits, the consistent routines of that person and inserting them into your everyday life right now. For me, that included working out, it included a certain nutrition, again, right? Those examples are great because it's a big part of everything that you do. It creates momentum, energy. The people that I was spending time with, I knew down the line what kind of people I wanted to surround myself with. So guess what? I started looking for them right away. You don't have to delay. You don't have to procrastinate anymore because you know exactly what you're going after. There's clarity. And now the gap between where you are today and who you want to be in the future, it starts to close. It closes very rapidly. You have a lot of fun doing it because you know exactly where you're going. You know exactly what to do right now because you know what will get you results in the future. And now you're just enjoying the ride. Now you're free to have a good time, evolve, and become your best self.